You go to the show with last night.
I didn't go to the show last night.
You ain't got to lie. 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 You ain't
Oh my God, no.
Fellas, what's happening, man?
What's
Hear
good?
this.
Dread Avenue, episode 3. You know what I mean?
Whoa. We in this, dog. We in
We've
this.
been moving, man. Dog, this is amazing. Fellas, what's been going on, man?
Hey, man.
This past week, I think, was like quite heavy, like in the entertainment space and like music space. Like, there's a lot of stuff we're gonna get into. And I can't wait for people to like get our perspective on just like the music space, like what's been going on locally, internationally, and then we'll talk about other interesting things that happened. I think, like, but actually, before we jump into that, something that we were actually discussing before the show is, and the feedback I got was that people want to know like what we do, man. What's our story? You know what I mean? Like, we're here talking about a lot of other people, but who is Aubrey? Who is Lance? Who is Derek? What is our background? You know what I mean? Are we just like the average YouTuber who's sitting behind the desk? You know what I mean?
Day in, day out.
Just telling, those ones that just tell people what to do, but they have nothing going on, right? And I thought it would be unfair to keep things going without actually giving a bit of background on what we're doing. What's your story? You know what I mean? What's my story? And then we kind of take it from there. So, Aubrey, just to kind of give people like a 2 second or 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Just a slot of what is your story?
Yeah.
What are you passionate about? Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? I think would be kind of good to get into.
Yeah, so I'm a lecturer by day, but I'm crazy about investments. Actually do my own private equity thing on the side called Alchemy Asset Management.
Right.
And I'm just an enthusiast about fitness. I'm actually a qualified trainer.
Nice.
Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that. But that's what I'm about.
Did you know that, lot?
I knew.
Fitness, yeah. Oh, nice, bro.
Yeah, man.
The lecturer part is the one that I think people will actually be shocked by in terms of just, the look and the, you know what I mean? It's like not your typical lecturer, you know what I mean? But it's something we actually want to get into. Just like what defines a person in terms of their career. And I think with this new era that we're in, you know what I mean? People are working from home. People don't have to be in the office wearing a suit and tie. I think we really redefined what it means to be in different careers. Like, does your look have anything to do with it or not,
Yeah.
But that's dope. Like, so I think if we need any advice on fitness,
I'm here, man. I'm here.
And that's why he's not drinking out of the sippy cup.
You know what time it is.
you know what I mean? Like, that's the brand
Hey,
right there.
man, I'm about this life.
Dude, so in a year, if me and Lance keep looking like this, I think you're not doing your job, to be honest.
A year's too long.
I think,
too long. I'm
to be
actually on a challenge as we speak. Literally. So, yeah.
There has to be a little bit of transformation, my dude.
I got
but
you
that's
guys.
dope.
I
That's
got you
dope.
guys.
That's dope. And then Lance, like,
Alright, so I am in media
right.
for a bank.
Okay. Okay.
A bit of media away from Dread Avenue.
Right.
Huge sports fan.
Yeah.
That's what people don't know about everyone.
Hey, man.
I know
The
that.
back and forth I've had with this guy.
Right.
And away from Dread Avenue as well.
Yeah.
And working on my own recruitment.
Right. That's dope. Now it's good to know these things because I think like even as much as we're friends, right? Sometimes we don't really delve into what do you actually do, like, or actually get to know about it. And I was actually having a discussion earlier with my brother, right? Because I'd gone for breakfast, with some friends, and my brother's into finance and investments and stuff like that. And it's your brother. So you never really look at him like the guy for like
The plug.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the
you.
expert in an area,
Yeah.
So it was just amazing watching the guy talk to other people, and you're like, this nigga knows what he's talking about. Like, he's the guy, you know?
So those realizations
Yeah.
just also draw you closer to
It does, bro. And it kind of makes you appreciate where you've come from. Because I look at my bro and I'm like, dude, we came from like, you know what I mean? A farm. I mean, like,
Yeah,
them,
true
like
story.
you know, and you look and see where guys are and, you know, the impact they're actually making in society. You're like, man, it's been a long way, you know? So me,
Yeah.
you
Talk
understand?
to us.
Exactly.
Talk to us, Derek.
So I think first I'm just a student of the game. You know what I mean? Like entertainment, music, you know, digital platforms. Just like somebody who's just been watching this thing from growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I had my first computer in primary.
Yeah.
And you know, like in high
I was
school,
about to say,
Yeah.
I think we should throw tech in there as well.
tech.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Definitely.
my background: technology, entertainment. So professionally, I'm in corporate, right? Like in the technology space. So I'm a cyber technology specialist by profession. And I know I'm not your typical cyber technology specialist where you expect that guy, you know, but so that's what I do on a daily, right? So I'm pretty much been in there for about 5 years now. And, but apart from that, I think I'm just like somebody who's been observant and who's observing society and wants to kind of make an impact in that space as well. You know, I think something we have to look at, and I think we touched on this in our first episode where we were saying, like, apart from you being in media, you being in the education space, right?
Yeah.
You still have other passions and interests that you still want to explore. And typically, you know, when we're in these spaces, we're pretty much confined and blocked into, dude, you're the media guy.
Yeah.
So that's all you're supposed to do.
Funny enough, that's what
Yeah.
I actually tell my students. I say, you are not your profession. You're much more than the skills, you know, that you, or the degree paper that you actually acquire.
Correct. And that's something I think I've just been glad to watch, especially in the last year alone, where because people have been locked at home and, you know, locked into one space, and they haven't been so caught up with, you know, their careers per se.
Yeah.
You've had to really find yourself.
Time to reflect on those
Do you know what I mean?
dreams and
Like,
things that you know.
I've been running so fast in this thing. What do I actually care about?
Yeah.
What defines me as a person? You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird things that are going on. We were talking about this yesterday, right? Like there's a lot that's going on in the world, but sometimes we're so locked and blocked into our career and our life in whatever small capacity that
9
it
to
is,
5.
that we don't actually see what's going on. And then something like COVID happens that makes you realize that, whoa, there's a lot more life to live than this one thing I've been chasing, you know? And for me, it's always been that, because I've always been passionate, I think from, you know, just being growing up, like about music, about entertainment.
You remember when we linked up in SA and I reminded you that you're the one who gave me my first Fruity Loops. And
man.
you totally forgot about that. Because I was like, you were so, like, you know, surprised.
I couldn't.
I have one question. Was it a licensed version?
Hey,
my guy.
Q. Hey. Slow your roll there.
You have to crawl before you walk, bro. Like I had to learn the thing before I could invest in it first. You know what I mean? So I think now we can gladly say now we buy our stuff. Everything is like, you know, but yeah, I mean, you look at it and you say, like, that's something, you know, like I've always been passionate about before I even got into what I'm doing now as a profession, right? So it's amazing to just, I think it's also inspiring to people out there to know that, listen, you can come from somewhere and actually, you know, become someone. And I think it's a conversation that's important for men in general, like where we can have these discussions and showcase, like, listen, man, you can do it as much as I've done it. You know what I mean? You can be multidimensional. You know what I mean? And it's going to be interesting for people to watch this thing grow as well.
True.
You know, because you understand that we're not just talking from nowhere. We're not just saying things and opinions based on not being informed, or we're actually young men that are trying to figure it out, just like you trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? So that's dope. So that's just a little bit about who we are. You know what I mean? We're not going to get into your dating lives and all of that. Like, don't want to put fellas on the spot, but yeah. Dope, guys. So also, on a serious note, you know, just talking about men and what our opinion is about stuff that's going on in society, I think it's important for us to jump into this GBV discussion.
Yeah.
It's very cliche, but I think it's important for people out there to know what our perspective is. Some of the feedback I got, which was great, was it's great that you guys are talking about certain topics from a man's perspective, right? About things that actually do matter, whether we're talking about ghosting, whether we're talking about starting from the bottom and, you know, roster discussion and stuff like that. We can just dig a bit deeper and talk about the gender-based violence thing. What is the position of men in that discussion? A lot of times we're hearing conversations from the other side of the table, right, on what our position should be, and sometimes being said, you guys are not saying anything about it. Like, you guys talk about these things in private corners, but you never stand up in public and say, listen, this is the position, right? So what brought this to my mind, and Q, I'd like to also hear your perspective on this, was the Ronnie O'Neal case in the US, right? Where this guy murdered his wife. He murdered
Went on
his
to murder
daughter.
his daughter.
He was trying to murder his son. Fortunately, I don't know how he escaped, but he survived that. And what's the take, gents? Like, how do you look at that? Obviously, there were other things that were going on in that relationship before it got to that, right? And
I think it should never go there firstly. That's that we need to really put out there that like there is no violence is never the solution.
To anything,
To anything. And for that to happen, that tragic event to happen itself, really demonstrates that we have a lot of work to do as a society. Like,
right.
Just educate, but also really just make sure that people really understand that that should never be
the case.
And I think something that most people don't actually say is, I think sometimes with us males, you find that if I have a problem with you, we have had an attitude of we're just going to sort it out physically. And I think what we need is for men to be talking to men to say, okay, yes, it's understandable for you to get frustrated, to get angry with a person, but there's boundaries to how you can react. And I think we need to begin to encourage ourselves to say, guys, you know, if you find yourself in a place where you're so heated that you lose control of yourself, it's time to walk away. I know of certain cats who would actually walk away and lock themselves in a room because they're like scared of obviously what they're going to do, you know? So I think, you know, those are the type of things. And for me personally, I look at it like if there's somebody who can get me to that point where I'm so angry, especially I'm talking female-wise, I'm like, I don't want to be with you because it scares me that, you know, I can get to a level where I'm actually considering. So I think that's how the type of mentality I think a lot of people should consider adopting, because I'm not saying that's the only solution. But to say, should I really be with somebody who drives me so insane,
so crazy,
that I want to raise my hands? You know what I'm saying?
True. And I think you raise a very valid point around how men have been raised and how we've been taught to deal with issues.
Exactly.
Right? That we don't, you look weak if you don't react. Right? If somebody, the joke you threw last time, right? Your mama's breast there, my mama's breast there. If you kick my mom's breast, my guy, it's late. You're not literally kicking it. You're kicking sand, but that's my mom's breast. But you're going to kick it, and then I'm going to kick you like nobody's business, right? So that's how we've been taught to deal with frustration and never, and almost like we have the discussion after I've thrashed you. You can only submit once we've done the deed. I've shown you like I can handle you. Do you understand? And I think it's something that we need to pretty much train, and this is something that you look at young adults and young parents to say, we need to really shift how we raise our boys in that way, right? Critical thinking, right? Let me thrash you verbally from an argument standpoint, right? Than to thrash you physically and then we're both locked up or whatever. And, you know, we've seen how it's gone.
But I think even verbally, like, there's just, you can tell something is getting heated to the point where I'm going to say things I'm going to regret at some point. And, you know, I think we need to get to a place where it's like, hey, I think we should just shut this down before it gets out of hand. Let's revisit the issue. Because clearly there's an issue there.
There is a big issue,
But that's in the situation. Speaking to what you've just been speaking to in terms of raising, in terms of giving each other guidance. Because even now, it's not like we got it all figured out.
No. Sure.
I would say that, you know, we need to get to a place where men speak to men.
Yeah.
You know, and I think because these guys know that these situations will arise.
Right.
Talk to us about it. Share with us. The problem is, you know, it's hard being vulnerable to say, look, Derek, man, I was in this type of situation. Yo, what are your 2 cents in this regard?
About it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I think, yeah, we need to really define what masculinity is, you know, as men, right? And this is something I think has to be passed down, right? The knowledge of, listen, dude, it's not a sign of strength if you're using your hands. You know, of course, there's sometimes you have to use your hand.
Yeah, as a protector.
As a protector, right? That's the correct way to use your hands. But this is not the solution to everything. In some ways, it's a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Right?
To like women.
Yes.
I think
it's never the solution, yeah. And I think, yeah. So it was really disgusting for me to watch. I mean, you were watching this guy in court, right? Where they're giving the sentence. Yeah.
But I think that there was something very wrong with him. Like, for real. Like, dude.
Yeah.
From the clip that I checked out, because Charlemagne gave him Donkey of the Day. And he's interviewing his son and saying, did I try to kill you or something to that effect?
Gee.
And the son is like, yeah, you did. And I'm like,
you were trying
what were you expecting your son to say? You know what I'm saying? Were you expecting him to just be like, no, you didn't? When, you know, so for him to even ask, for me, showed me that, no, there's something wrong with this guy, you know?
But that comes from somewhere. You see what I'm saying? That's also what I'm trying to get to. Like, let's not just look at it from the surface of this man is messed up.
Yeah.
How does,
if you look at like serial killers, you always tell that there was something that happened in their childhood. Impacted how they see things.
The world.
So I think, from a young age, to really start training.
Shaping, like.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
I think too often we bring about sociological, scientific explanations for things that are a bit beyond science. Moral issues. Issues like right and wrong. So the sanctity of life is a moral issue. And the sanctity of life doesn't go all the way to death only. It's only in the extreme case, the Ryan O'Neal case, that it goes to death. But every day, someone is beating up on somebody. Every day, a woman is saying injurious words. It's like a woman who's careless with her words, a man is careless with his hands. And that's a moral question more than it is a sociological, upbringing question. It's a right and wrong. But because we've thrown God out of the picture, we now have this reality that we must face and must try to figure out ourselves.
Logically. We're always trying to make it a logical debate.
All of a sudden, it's a logical thing, but it's more than that.
Sheesh, man. That's so true. That's so true. And I like the fact that you even brought the discussion of word, which we never discuss as much, right? Okay. Oh my God, it's going to get me into trouble. But let's bring up the Chris Brown Rihanna thing, right? Right?
Yeah.
I know I threw myself right in there, but we're in there. So let's talk about that, right? Where obviously there was a discussion in the car. Not to say that justifies Chris Brown for what he did. Wrong move, wrong response, wrong. But these things start
somewhere.
No one just wakes up and thrashes you, right? It starts with a discussion, starts with a conversation, starts with, and in some cases, yes, it can happen. But I'm just saying, like, usually
there's an underlying
there's a verbal thing that happens that leads into, and do we call verbal? I know we do call it abuse, but do we look at it as also important enough to discuss, to say verbal abuse is something that should be addressed? Because it's also as dangerous
you know
in a way.
I love the fact that you actually brought it up. I think we do not give it enough importance. You know what I'm saying? We all, as human beings, I think it's cause and effect. We just look at the results and say, that's bad.
Right.
That's good. But we need to begin to say, okay, guys, let's take a few steps back and also begin to address the things leading up. So we need to start to treat each other better, as
human beings.
As human beings.
Right. And then it becomes more of a human society issue. Than a specific gender discussion.
There you go.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Which
I think is something that we need to look at very seriously, because it's like you're trying to address the consequence and looking at the result, the source of the problem.
Can I add something to
putting a bandage on an issue, but you're not actually dealing with the root cause.
Even if we remove the violence, right? And we should, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Is that relationship healthy if those type of verbal exchanges are still taking place? So just to speak to how important it is.
Yeah.
Because if you're tearing me down verbally, if I'm tearing you down verbally in return, it doesn't mean that now we're in a healthy relationship because nobody's hitting each other physically.
Right.
So it needs to be emphasized more. It needs to be also addressed, I think.
Definitely something to look at and something that's very important to discuss. And I think it's very clear, right? We're saying abuse is wrong. Right? It's a sign of weakness, any form of abuse. But there's also the verbal aspect. We need to look into that a bit more. Tell us what you think, okay? This is the whole point. This is a platform to debate things and give our perspective, but we want, you guys to put your comments, and just let us know what your opinions are on this discussion, because it's worth talking about, right? On a side note, someone who knows how to run out of situations before they get bad, Nick Cannon. All right? Nick Cannon is out of there, man.
Hey, that's true, though. That's true. Hey.
Right? So now he's like on baby mama number 3.
Hey, guy.
Right?
And
he's
how many
planting
months
his
again?
seed like he should, right? So, no, you're going to know he was here. That's what I'm saying. Like, when he's long gone, you're going to know this man, he was here, right? So, what do you guys think about that? Because it's an interesting topic, right? You're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Yes, cool. But what are the, does it make sense for the average Joe, right, to have? I mean, he's got what, 2 twins now, like 4 twins, and then he's got another, other kids as well on top of that,
hey,
and then 3 baby mamas, right? Now you know how difficult it is to keep one baby mama happy, right?
Can I tell
this man has 3.
Before we go too far.
And 1,000 jobs on top of that, right? Because he's doing everything, right? Movies, talk show, whatever. He's all over the show. Like, okay, just from a high level, what do you think about that?
I think we can laugh at this because we know that he's well off enough to take care of these kids. But otherwise, the average Joe should not be doing such things.
Don't try it at home, basically.
Yeah, man.
Like, leave it for...
No, guys, no.
Okay.
I think with our platform, we need to try and promote responsible.
Yes.
Because I think that just shows, because he's in a better position than most of us.
Yeah.
It's easy for him to sort of get away.
Right.
But for a guy that's working, if you think about it, having 4 or 5 kids,
man.
In 6 months.
Yeah, like, was it in 6 months? 6 months, right?
Yeah. 6-month period, all 3 baby mamas. But I think there's a bigger problem here. Because we're thinking provision is just financial.
Yeah.
Man, a father has to be there emotionally. A father has to provide direction, discipline, focus, energy. Those traits are not traits you do remotely. And that's why absentee fathers are just always going to give a problem. You understand?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Nick's going to have to pull a Superman stunt.
I think it's a good look for us
as men, right?
As men, like it's.
I hadn't actually thought about that, Q. That's a very important point, right? Like, okay, does money solve everything? Is money the solution to everything? Right? You being able to afford something, is that reason enough to do it? Right? So I think it's something worth pointing out. Like, we have to really think hard and long about these things.
Looking back, like fathers play such a critical.
Oh my goodness,
in our lives, like I think even like when I look back in high school, when most like we used to do these surveys where like students would ask you if you've got a mother, if you've got a father, and stuff. And quite a lot of students, like in high school, they don't have fathers.
And you can see how that sort of impacted them.
Yeah.
And the influence of a father, like in the household.
You can't take it away.
Yeah,
you can't replace it.
Yeah.
You can't replace it. I mean, shout out to all the moms that have been able to step in and do their part and try to play both roles, right?
Yeah.
when men are irresponsible. But like you said, fundamentally, you can't replace a man in that situation.
Yeah.
Like there's a very important role, and you can easily see this. I'm sure you've experienced when a father is not parenting someone's life, you can see that something missing, man. You know what I mean? In most cases, like, and that's something that I think we need to take responsibility. You know, the responsibility of as men to say, guys, don't just like dump and go, and you know what I mean. Own up to what you've done. Yeah, hit and run. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a good look for us as men. And yeah, with the Nico number, it's a bit conflicting because I like the dude as a guy. I mean, there's so many things he's doing right and he's good at, and he's you know what I mean, talking about things that are important, and he's very clear about positions he takes. I mean, remember he almost lost his job, which they gave him back. Wild and out. You know what I mean? Like he lost. Hey.
He said something about Jewish people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And he paid for it quite a bit. But he was willing to, like, you know, fall on his sword, which I respect, right?
Yeah.
But I think also just in like this pop culture and Western culture, like that's something that I think generally is not a very clear, you know what I mean, area where they've gotten it right, I would like to say. But I think that's one thing I appreciate from an African standpoint.
Can I just drop one last thing? Just I think those of us who have grown up with both parents and in an ideal situation, for the most part, because no family setup is perfect.
Correct.
I think we should take it upon ourselves to try and continue that legacy or that experience.
Very important.
We must learn from, you know, having had that experience, because, you know, I think sometimes only when you start to see and interact with people who haven't had both parents, that's when you begin to appreciate the fact that you had both.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think we should try by all means.
Definitely. Interesting, you know, something to think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
Comments, throw some comments, guys, down in the platform, and let's hear what you guys think about it. Another guy who ran, but he took his shit.
Look at this dude.
With.
I know where this is going.
Right?
Yeah, man.
He left, like, hey, but he took his things along, right?
Yeah.
The Quavo Saweetie situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to talk about it. We're here now, right?
Yeah.
We had to talk about it. So, right. So this dude did his thing, right? Splurged on Shorty, right? Got her a Bentley, whatever, right? But when the time was up, right? The guy was like, hey,
Bring it back.
Right? Bring back. What is your take on that one? If we were vibing,
But it was a gift in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that your position?
No, I'm just, it's not my position. I'm just saying, because it's a Bentley. But
Okay,
I'm
it's a
just
gift.
saying,
Also, where are you going
No,
with
where
that?
are you going with that? That's what I
I'm
want to
just
know.
asking you, is it a gift in a relationship?
Yes,
It's a
it
gift.
was a gift,
Yes,
though.
it was a gift.
It was a gift.
What's your take? If I buy you, that's close. How much does that cost? Like 500,000, 600,000 US dollars, right? Worth. If I
God.
spend so much on you, right?
But we just said money isn't everything.
There's levels to this thing.
Don't just give us statements. Go where you're going.
I think Shorty thought
Take
she
your
had
position.
secured the bag.
Hold by your sword, bro. Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
right?
I
Where
feel
you
like
going?
I just need to put it out there for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
it was a gift in a relationship.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you straight. If you buy your girl, oh man, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you, but if you buy your girl, I put him in this situation.
Hey,
all right,
next
so
week
like,
someone's gonna
cut
be
him some
single.
slack.
Hey.
All right, if you buy, let me not say your girl. If you buy a lady that you with, right? Let's exclude your girl right now, all right? If you buy a lady that you with,
We're excluding my girl right now.
yeah, we're just saying generally, apart from her. Let me just protect you.
I
Why
like
you
feel
that.
gonna put him on
I feel
blast?
it's
Why
too
you gonna
late
put
for
him
this.
on blast like that?
Are you, if you spend $600,000 on her in a car, are you taking that shit back after like things go left?
I'll say that it was a gift in the relationship.
Fam.
However, I think there's certain instances where you know that like 600,000 is a lot of money.
Dude, you're not in my life anymore.
Yeah, like,
We're done.
Guys, for
You
me.
said, wait. Because
Yeah.
think about it. There's context. I think it's important to bring context to it.
Yeah.
it's not like it was a very like civil breakup where we're cool, we're homies.
Yeah.
You know, you go your way, I go my way. It was you say something slick, I say something slick, and then your car is gone. That's all we know. So in that situation, right? Are you taking the car, bro? Or are you saying, yo, you can have that?
Let me be real. Like I'm gonna take the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna be
Can
real.
I be
position.
real? Can
That's
I be
my
real?
position.
Nah, I'm not taking the car. What? Yeah. Even despite that, also,
Aubrey.
I
What is
swear.
cap?
I swear. No, I
That
swear.
is all cap.
Sorry,
No.
repeat.
No, I'm not taking the car back.
That is
I'm not
cap.
taking
Sorry,
it
did I
back.
hear it correctly? Please repeat it.
I promise you. Do you
Let's
know-
be real.
Can I tell you the only?
$100,000. You, huh?
I'm not taking the car back.
Bruh, those are employment benefits. Her contract was
Nah,
terminated.
nah.
You don't go home with the company car.
Nah.
Bro, exactly.
I'm not taking the car back.
Dog.
I'm
you are an
not-
investment
Okay, let's
guy.
hear
I'm
why he's
not
not
taking
taking
the-
the car back.
The
Why is
only
he taking the car?
this is the only way I will take the car back.
Yeah.
If the car's on installments, then I'm taking the car back. But
I mean, the
outside of that, no, I'm not taking
I'll
the car
just
back.
leave her with the car. With
No,
the
no,
I'm not taking the car back.
This guy said he's a financial investor. What?
It's not
right?
about money.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a good financial? If you're going to advise, because I need to know if
Yeah.
I need to use your financial advisor.
Let's go. Let's go.
If I invest 600,000 rand,
Yeah.
Let's keep it rand on a shorty. She's no longer in my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, and you're like, dude, where did you
And
use
it's a
your
bad
money?
breakup.
Right? And you ask me like, where did you use your money? This
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
I'm like, oh, did I put 600,000, but we're not together anymore. And then I did this. I did this. And you say, maybe, dude, your finances are not looking too
Yeah.
good. Are you gonna say, oh no, let's forget that you guys were dating? It's cool. Like, you know, let's try to. Or are you gonna be like, my guy?
Can I tell you?
Grab that money.
Can I tell you why? I'm still not taking the car back because I don't
Why?
look at it as the relationship as an investment. A relationship is something more than that. It's something where I'm journeying through this
This is
life.
a politically
I'm
correct
just-
answer.
He's not signing a
I
prenup,
swear.
I tell you. This guy.
No.
He's
I'm
not
signing a
signing a
prenup.
prenup.
I'm signing a prenup.
Clearly.
I'm signing a prenup. That's not just for discussion. Honestly speaking.
But isn't that insurance as well?
What do you mean? Isn't that insurance?
If
You
I'm-
gave it. You gave it. You get what I'm saying? You gave it. It's no
It was
longer
a gift.
yours. Otherwise, it wasn't a gift. It was a rental.
It was a gift.
It was
once
a
we are
rental.
Together. It was. It's yours, but together
Oh
we're not together.
no, but it's a
anymore.
different thing.
No, I'm
And you
telling
try.
you. I'm-
Wait,
It's a Bentley.
yeah.
Cap.
You know what, man?
I do think it's contextual. I think a hoodie. You're not going to take a hoodie back.
No, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
take a hoodie
I
back.
think $500,000 dollars.
Yeah.
Bro.
Doesn't matter how rich you are,
Yeah.
unless you were married. See, when you're married,
Yeah.
then you have to.
This is
part
the
Marriage
term.
is a
with
different-
whatever's in
Marriage
the
is a
marital
different-
relationship,
Yeah.
depending on your nuptials. What were they
Yeah.
based on? Was it going to be in community or whatever?
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. Oh, he just
He
made
got
that
hammered,
woman
eh?
rich. Look at Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Oh, he
He's-
made her rich.
Yeah.
You understand? Those
Yeah.
those are clear pictures.
Hence
Yeah.
why you need to sign a prenup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's that contract. But now when you're speaking a relationship where it's just
Right.
Yeah.
dating.
My
I
guy.
wonder if the gift of an entire. Well, I suppose
Yeah.
look, someone could afford to give it away.
But that's the thing now. Now we need to ask ourselves, can you really afford that type of gift? Because if you give something and you're like, this thing is hella expensive, right? But you're obviously giving it with the thing of, I think we're going to be together forever. Then ask yourself, can I really afford to give this gift? Because honestly speaking, I wouldn't be giving something that
But
I'm
you
going
take
to
it by
be
emotions
like,
in
if we
that
break
time.
up,
We
gotta guess,
I'm
we
taking
gotta
back
guess,
my
yeah.
thing.
We got guys in the studio. May I just ask them for like a minute each?
Let me-
Yeah, let's just
hear.
hear.
Just a minute. Let's hear what
First,
you're going to
first
say.
of all, they should tell us whether they'll
Yeah,
take it.
we
or
can use
not.
that.
I wouldn't be giving a Bentley.
Okay.
I wouldn't be, if I'm
This
going to
is-
cry back for it. Nah, I
Yuri?
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Your word, man. You know what? You guys are bickering about this. It depends on your net worth, my guy. You understand? That whole thing where you talk
Yeah.
about a hoodie.
Right.
Dude, I've bought cakes for honeys, right?
Right.
For on a birthday.
Yes.
You understand?
Facts,
It's
yeah.
nothing because it didn't hit me hard.
Right.
Now, you're not going to go buy a Bentley, right? If you can't afford a Bentley. That's,
Thank you very much.
That's
Right.
first and foremost. So
Yeah.
you need to, so look, if you're going
It's subjective,
it's subjective, very subjective. So talk about things that are relative,
Right.
If I'm bitter, right? If I'm bitter,
Yeah.
dude, I want my hoodie back. Not because I can't afford a hoodie.
Yeah.
It's because, dude, you
Yes,
took my
yes.
hoodie.
But it's
So
not-
what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
like he said, context. Like you said, context, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And depends what your net worth is, my guy. That's all I'm just trying to say.
Depends what your net worth is.
So if with relativity in mind, right? If I'm bitter, I'm coming after my Bentley. Right? If I'm bitter. But dude, if it's a Bentley and I'm Jeff Bezos, dude, what's 500K when
What
I'm
is
worth
that?
100
But
billion?
if a chick
That's just all I'm
talks crazy about you, Jeff Bezos is taking that back, bro. Because probably it's nothing to him, but it's a lot to her.
Oh yeah. Oh, so it's more of let me hurt you by taking that thing that you
Dude,
value.
so Winnie was talking crazy. You were spending like Jeff.
But it wasn't.
Bezos.
Yeah, it wasn't a healthy.
It wasn't a healthy breakup, and that's why I said it depends how you know what I mean. We're cool. If I care about you,
so actually,
cool.
we're not. Oh, and I'm talking we as in you guys, because you guys would take the Bentley back. We're not talking about taking back a Bentley. We're talking about
that Bentley, fam.
If you're bitter, would you take back whatever you gave?
Okay,
that's what we're talking about.
Depends on.
It depends if I care.
Yeah.
You know, people do a lot of crazy shit when they care about someone.
Yeah.
If you don't care about it, whatever.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
But
100%.
because I also want to address something. I hate when we pretend we don't care when we actually do care. Right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, it doesn't hurt me, but deep down you're dying, my guy. Right?
You're crying when you're alone.
Do you understand? Like, own the emotions. If you care, you care. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about you do care. So when he says something to you that you're like, ooh, okay.
But can I?
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should like it's an eye for an eye or whatever, but I'm saying like it does happen. And if you do care and somebody is slick with you, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna say, let the Bentley go, whatever? I'll take the L on this one. Or are you gonna be like, nah, you know what?
Give my shit back.
Respectfully.
Give me my hoodie back.
It's gone, man.
But you know, so I love the context that these guys brought and everything, and I think we're all on the same page now. There's some niggas who are too proud. It's not even a thing of they're not bitter. They are bitter. As you're saying, you're burning inside.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give you the satisfaction of going around saying, that nigga was so sour, he took back what he gave me. So I think I fall on that side. Right? Where it's like, nah.
But it's a Bentley, bro.
Nah.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
Okay, let's just say we understand where he's coming from.
We understand. I'm there with you.
Yeah,
I'm there.
If you're looking for a new Bentley, go to whatever platform. We'll put it in the. There's a really dope, slick Bentley waiting for y'all to.
Headdress.
Oh my goodness.
Just have a look at the headdress.
You understand?
Dope.
But she also came back hard because I think she bought a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, she bought a Rolls Royce. Yeah.
But that's, I mean, it's kind
Did
of
she
cute.
take that back?
Huh?
Did she take the rolls back?
No, she bought.
No, she bought her own.
After the fact.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's a nice comeback. So dope to her. Like, I was like, oh, that's dope. But
Yeah.
don't make yourself broke down because you're trying to, like, you understand?
Yeah.
So, like, be smart about it. But it's cute, whatever. At least nobody got hurt, right? So, anyway, I just thought, like, I should let it be known. Now I'm getting the Bentley, bro. That's what it is. But anyway, on another topic, which I think is important to talk about, which is also tied to just a man conversation, right? So interesting enough, about a week or so ago, there was something in the news about Jay-Z and Dame Dash, where they were kind of going back
Was
and
it
forth.
Reasonable Doubt where they were?
Yeah.
Yes, it was Reasonable Doubt, right?
So,
where, you know, Dame Dash is selling like the album as an NFT or something.
So an NFT is like
kind of
if
break it
you
down
it's
for us,
a you know the technology behind Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So basically, I can sell a photo. Like for instance, I just took a picture of us and posted it. So I could sell that because it's digital.
Yeah.
And then you have shares in it, I have shares in it, and he has shares in it.
Right.
So I could then sell the shares to anybody. And they're limited. They can't just be consistently sold. So that's what he was doing. He was trying to sell digital ownership of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
And on top of that, he was saying that Jay-Z will have administrative control, but not ownership.
Right.
So, yeah.
To me, it was just interesting. Jay-Z and Dame have been going back and forth for ages.
Man,
I'm
those
just
guys
like,
need to sit down.
y'all need to sit down
And they make
figure it out.
magical music, man.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Oh,
If we're
when
looking
they-
at
when they work
guys who
together.
impacted the game like in a
It's-
big way,
yeah.
you have to give it to them. It's just a bit sad to see how that is playing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're rocking with the
Anyway, all of them are rich in one way or another. Like they got money, but I think
isn't that
Dame
rich,
is not doing as good as Jay-Z, but he's still good. I think overall he's still all right. But
But we need to be careful there as well. Because think about it like this: the same way when we get a raise, also the way we start to live. So hopefully he's good and he's managing his finances right.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of guys
Dame was
go broke,
arrested, like,
you know.
No, but that's petty stuff. That was like child support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They came at him for that. But I think it's important. What I was actually driving at, which is relevant to just the general overall conversation around how we handle situations as men, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just sad to see how that's playing out because I think we're more powerful united together
100%.
right? Because Dame did bring something to the table in a big way. I mean, Jay-Z owes some credit to Dame in terms of pushing him. And I mean, you've all seen the footage of how, Dame was going hard for his crew. Like, so he did do that.
That backstage concert.
Do you understand?
Those guys wearing the Def Jam
Man.
jackets and stuff.
You should put like a little 5-second clip of that.
Bleak. I didn't never have a Rockefeller coat that said Memphis Bleak. This the only thing Def Jam got one up on. But other than that, Rockefeller's the home.
Oh my God! You just dropped that one. All of a sudden, this Def Jam jackets with niggas' names on all over the tour. That shit is weak, man. You ain't been doing that. Everybody wants a jacket. You want to do something, make a motherfucking hard night tour jacket.
You see what I'm talking about, right?
Free marketing.
You know what I mean? Like, he was going hard.
Yeah,
so
man.
we have to give him that. So to see how it's kind of turned out now, it's a bit sad to see. And I think that's something we need to figure out as men, right? How we separate business and friendship
Yeah.
in some ways, right? And then also, the question is, if we are friends, right? Should the business ever get between that?
Between that.
Like, if we're friends,
Yeah.
should the business ever get between the friendship?
But it's hard. It always does.
Yeah,
It always does. But the question is,
That's
what
where I
is
was
the
gonna
position?
go.
Like, should it? That's what I want to know.
I think it requires a level of maturity to say, look, man, Derek, I have to address this issue.
Right.
I understand we're friends, but now this is a real concern.
Correct.
Because the business is in jeopardy or because this is going to advance the situation. So it's a hard discussion for us, but we need to have
And the
it.
question is
Yeah.
this.
You know?
The question is this, and I think that's a more important question, right? Should the business ever get between the friendship in the sense that we stop being friends because of the business? Can I screw you over in the business?
Yeah.
And we can still be friends?
Nah. But that's the thing now, it goes back to principles.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't all have the same principles. And I think that's where people start to be like, I thought Lance was my boy. Because as a boy, I don't expect you to do certain things.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But then when money comes in and then boom, you cheat me out of my shares or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So I can't be friends with you after you've done that to me. And I'm sure you couldn't do the same. So I think while we value the friendship and stuff like that, we still need to see people execute good principles. And unfortunately, not everybody has good principles.
Don't you think also in some cases, in terms of separating business and friendship, right?
Yeah.
That's where lawyers should get in some cases. Where instead of us going back and forth.
Yeah. But I
right?
think you're also very trusting because this is someone that you've known for such a long time. Like,
Fellas,
sorry.
Yeah.
Good, awesome. So yeah, we're talking about just the position of should the business ever get between you and I from a friendship standpoint, right?
Yeah.
And my question is, don't you think that's where lawyers should get it into play? And we're having this discussion, right?
Yeah.
Me and Q. And that's like, it's important to be very clear on the business sometimes to protect the friendship.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get carried away as mates, like, oh, do we'll figure it out, with the business, whatever,
Yeah.
right? But that's where it gets tricky, and the business can kind of get in the way. So this is me just thinking at the top of my head, like, don't you think that's where lawyers should get into the negotiations of it?
Yeah.
So that because they look at things from both angles, right? They can break this partnership or whatever business we're doing into like a proper business model discussion of, does this make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be happy? Are we gonna be happy? You know what I mean? Instead of us trying to figure it out and we make mistakes and then we're now trying to chop each other's.
I think ideally you do want to do that, right? But you never think about it because you're so you've known this person all your life,
right?
For example, or like you're very trusting of this person. Like you wouldn't think that they would do what.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm like, in this day and age where we are so informed, there's countless videos on YouTube. The information is crazy. We should have the paperwork done up front, so that we know what's happening. And then just in relation to this situation, because this is after the fact, I'm sure they all know their shares of Rockefeller if both of them own it, because I think Dame has like a third or something like that.
Yeah, they all have a third, I think.
I think in this type of a situation, from what we do know, I would actually would have loved for a person who knows Jay and is cool with Jay and a person who knows Dame and is cool with Dame to actually intervene.
Right.
Because if you think about it, there's so many albums that they released on rock. Why did he have to go for Reasonable Doubt, knowing this is Jay-Z's baby? You get what I'm saying? So I just wish there was I think it's not about lawyers because both of them can afford lawyers.
Yeah.
And they can fight this out in court. But I think at this, for that situation, I would say it would be dope for a third party to come and say, guys, speak to them separately and try to say, guys, how do we meet each other? You know, how do we solve this situation? Because, I mean, with the history, we're going to fight this thing out.
Hey, you know what's funny about
this?
We're talking about it from a guy and chick situation, right?
Yeah.
Where you're doing stuff to spite each other and whatever. But I think that's pretty much what's going on.
That's honestly.
I'm literally trying to jab you because I know that's going to hurt, right? But I think, we need to, I think as men, like, let's talk. I mean, we talk about everything else, right?
Let's figure this thing out.
But I think they have to sit down and figure it out. And it kind of sets the tone. If you look at the position that they are in the black community and just in, this culture of hip hop or whatever, right? I think they're in a very, critical and very significant role where their influence is trickled down, right?
Yeah.
So I think they need to send the right message there to, how you do business and how you maintain friendships.
Sorry to interrupt. There's just a bomb I'm seeing here. Damon Dash's net worth as of 2021, you have a higher net worth.
Nah, fam.
$10,000 US.
What?
Mm-hmm. This is what I was saying.
But that's also, but that's the way it annoys me. And I'm cool to say it on record, right? It's like, but Jay, for me, it's like Jay, like,
take care of your boy.
The man's, bro. Like, apart from whatever the issues are,
whatever happened,
right?
Yeah.
You can't take away from what this dude did.
Yeah.
Position you in a way.
But
he played a big role for Rockefeller, bro. He fought for it. You know what I mean? So I think also that's where it's a lesson to be learned for boys in general as men, bro. Like, look out for your guys if you can.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, right? If you know you've come far with someone and they did help you out, it's wrong, dude. Like,
but this is why I feel like the relationship needs a middleman. Because clearly, it's not a thing where I can like, hey, Derek, pick up the phone and actually just call you.
Dude, I'm a billionaire, bro.
It's clearly.
I'm a multi-billionaire,
when they parted ways, when they parted ways, Jay was not a billionaire and Dame was worth 50 million.
Yeah.
So there's some poor investment or
choices
money
made.
management.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not about money. It's basically what you're saying.
Let me give you an example.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me also give you an example, right? In the same group, right? There was Kanye West.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yes. Under the same label.
Kanye done for Dame Dash more than Jay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've actually read
and
that.
Kanye was a lighty in that whole crew.
Yeah. They brought him on together.
Birthed Kanye, right?
Yeah.
But Kanye has done a lot more recently for Dame.
Derek,
I've read that.
Derek, I fully hear what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But you must understand, if you scar me in a certain way, that severs the relationship. I'm not gonna be looking out for you. And that's why I'm saying we need a third party to come and speak to
find out what the issues are.
Yeah. And just be like, guys, okay, how do we fix this? Because we can't be rolling out like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what also and that's something that speaks to, you know, sometimes you and I can have beef, right?
Yeah.
But if there are a lot of third parties involved and a lot of voices on this camp and that camp, and it messes, it messes up a discussion that we could solve in 2 minutes when you're sitting down.
All the information is
Because
just
there's
misinterpreted.
issues on both sides. It's like you got so many voices in your ear, so many voices there. And I think that's where we just need to be a bit more responsible as men to really not let our emotions get into the way of what is important. Because if you look at, dude, life is short. That's something we've learned in the last. You know what I'm saying? Like, is a beef and an issue in some cases worth messing up a relationship where something can happen? You never know. And then now you're sitting like, man, I wish I had done this. I wish I had. It's not worth it sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's good to always just have the conversation, I think.
Yeah. In my mind, there's no way a Dame Dash could be worth 10,000 when a Jay-Z is worth billions. It just doesn't look right.
Can I also toss something in? You know Biggs, because it was Biggs, Jay, and Dame that started Rockefeller. Biggs is still rocking with Jay at Rock Nation. It's only Dame that has been like
pushed to the side. But he was the most vocal then. You understand?
Yeah. No, so the point that I'm trying to bring is that, you know, we need to be careful about how, and I'm not blaming Dame, I'm not blaming
Jay-Z,
Jay. I'm just saying, you know, even if I outgrow you as a homie, right? It mustn't be a thing where we have beef.
This is my thing.
You
if
know
no
what I
one
mean?
died, we can fix it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
If there was no loss of life between our beef,
But
we should fix it.
there's certain things that are irreversible. Like,
Yes, that's the thing. Like,
certain things that are, and we don't really know how Jay-Z feels. As much as
I'm gonna throw it out there. If Dame slept with Beyonce,
that's another.
Y'all afraid to say it. If he did, I'm not saying it. I said if he did, then
that's a different
you can
story.
understand how he's gonna let him sink to the ground. But if he didn't, and there's nothing like that of that nature, then surely, I mean, I'm tired of hearing Dr. Dre talk about Eazy-E like he really loved him. Because the beef they had was until
that's
deathbed. Yes,
quite
this
sad
guy
that happened.
in hospital, but
Fact.
Like you're saying, if someone's still alive,
we can fix
but
it.
this needs a third party because it looks like Dame is not willing to pick up the phone. It looks like Jay is not willing to pick up the phone. In my mind. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, can I just jump in, man?
Yeah.
Jay doesn't owe Dame.
No, he doesn't.
Point number one.
Yes.
Right. And that's, in a sense, hate to say it, but that's fact.
Right.
Problem is, these were tight boys, the tightest of the tightest.
Yeah.
These guys built an empire, and they're tied by that empire.
Correct.
And Jay's way is because of him, right?
Yeah.
And Dame could have been there, but hey, they got beef.
Yeah.
And Jay, I need to say this, was a douche.
Yes.
The way he treated Dame. And everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody talks
Jay
about it.
doesn't owe anyone anything. Now, let's relate it to what I believe is the crux of the matter. If you're my boy, you're my boy.
Yeah.
You understand, right?
Right.
They're no longer boys. Right.
100.
Right.
That's what
100.
it is. So if you're my boy, I'd still try look out for you. Right?
Yeah.
But if you're not
I
my
wish
boy,
you well.
I wish you well.
Yeah.
But if you're not my boy, right, I don't owe you a dime.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right,
And
right.
I just need to say, look, Jay, for all he's done, was a douche the way he treated Dame. We look at it and you're like, dude, that's your boy.
That was your boy.
You understand? So for me, that hurts.
Yeah.
But he doesn't owe him. I'm going to
No,
use
he
this.
doesn't.
He doesn't owe him nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that whole reasonable doubt, that's just spiteful. Talks back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The whole dating story.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm bitter, I want it back. I'm going to try and get at you. You understand? Right? So I will get at you. But they're no longer boys. So don't think that they're going to reconcile. You want a middleman to come and resolve. Yeah, maybe they'll look back and maybe it's going to be Ether and what was that?
Yeah.
Ether
Take over.
and take over. Where, hey, man, at some point in time, now they're making videos together. Maybe that could be that, right? Maybe it could be that. Maybe whatever. It might fizzle out. You're like, no, life's too short. You understand? But when I really look at it, I'm just like, no, dude. Right? Dame got dealt a wrong one. A tough one.
It's life,
And Jay's a douche, whether you like it or not.
Exactly,
but I hear what you're saying. I'm fully with you. But
Jay
this is the sad bit about it. We don't know the full context because Dame could have also done some things that actually led to Jay doing what he did.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
My hypothetical
but you see,
situation
the
still
thing is,
stands.
Yeah.
that is speculation, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at what we know. So I'm judging based on what we know. Right? To say, okay, if Jay did this, then it's wrong based on what we know. We can't say, oh, Dame Dash.
100%. So let me throw out what we also know.
Yeah.
We also know that Jay actually asked for reasonable doubt for the royalties to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes,
they
he
said
did.
no.
Right.
That's what then led to Jay saying, okay, cool. I'm going
Right.
to make this deal with Def Jam to buy Rockefeller. Now that I own Rockefeller, I own my masters. Can you
Right.
see?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so we also need to also look at that. So
Right.
Dame, it's not like Dame's hands are clean. You get what I'm saying? You see? So that's why I'm saying, at the end of the day, for me, I'm just saying, okay, guys. And if we look at the Nas thing, I love the fact that you brought up Nas and the Ether and all that.
Yeah.
Dame and Jay made money together. They knew
did.
each other before this thing blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not like Nas. I know he's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. Okay, guy. As black men, we need to not have this type of beef so that we can be exemplary for
Right,
other cats.
right.
It's much bigger than that.
Bigger than that,
You know.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, guy. I feel like both parties did each other wrong, and
One
there's
lost,
probably more
one-
to it. One lost and one is winning. But at the end of the day, that's why I'm saying like a third party should come in, at least squash these type of issues.
Yeah.
And be like, if we can't be friends, we can't be friends. But
Yeah.
taking
Look,
lawyers,
look.
it's
I
like-
think,
it's a bit too
I
much.
think, in light of what we're saying,
Yeah.
right? Let's be clear. If you wrong me and I wrong you, I
Yeah.
think we're even at that point, right?
Hey, but sometimes
Like if like, let's be fair, like if you did some shit,
you might have done more to me though.
right?
Yeah.
Let's be even, right? But if it's a matter of, because where I'm coming to is, if it's a matter of I helped you
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get into the position that you are,
Yeah.
there's no way you can look at me suffer and you don't give a crap. Like I think you can. I don't owe you nothing, right?
Yeah.
But morally, I'm talking about. I would expect.
Oh, but they go way
But
back,
you see,
guys.
the thing about it is there's always a
They go
measuring
way
stick.
back.
Remember
Yeah.
what Q said, where
Yeah.
it was like, obviously he went through extreme using Beyonce. But there's things that you can do to me that will be like,
disclaimer, guys.
I don't want.
That's not even a rumor out there.
Yeah.
I just was
It's
giving an
100.
example.
Hey,
100.
We don't want them to shut the show before it
Hey.
even goes anywhere.
Hey,
Bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Dame Dash. Nah.
Next thing, Jay-Z buys YouTube
Yeah.
and Spotify and shuts us down.
No. But yeah, so
Right.
there's things that outside of that could have severed the relationship to say,
Yeah.
I wish you well, but I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, but I fully agree with, and I understand where you're also coming from.
Correct.
Yeah, man.
Dope, guys. We need to keep it moving. So let's bring it closer home. Let's bring it closer to what's going on in Africa, which is a beautiful thing. And I think it speaks to the women as well.
Yeah.
Just to show a light on, this new era we're in, social media. What are some of the
Hey.
benefits that have come
yeah.
from, this thing, this pandemic, this, for our ladies. So everyone knows Elsa in some form or fashion, right?
Yeah.
This is this social media star that just came from nowhere.
Blew up.
I was
Blew
shocked
up.
at how young she is.
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, it was funny when you showed me. I couldn't believe it was her. I'm not gonna say your comment on the public because I don't want to ruin you like that. But
What happens on WhatsApp
yeah, let's
stays on
stay
WhatsApp.
right? But so she's blown up now. She was on the GQ magazine or something like that. Which
But the brands that she's also worked
Hey,
and
man.
the
It's amazing,
sponsorships,
bro.
Yo, MTN.
it's incredible.
She
It's
did
incredible.
something for
Shout
what's
out to
this
Elsa,
company?
man. Yeah.
Nando's. I think she did an advert for Nando's
Yeah.
as well, or something to that effect.
And she's
Or
and she's been on Comedy Central as well. I know that
Comedy
she's done
Central
some-
Africa.
Yeah.
Amazing,
Comedy Central.
amazing.
Fenty Beauty.
Yeah,
Hooked her
Fendi.
up with the
Yeah.
sponsorship for the glasses. She's been doing her thing, guy. She's been doing her thing.
Bro, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out
that
to
was
her,
that
man.
was the thing, the beauty of lockdown, where you could see
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
new stars
Blow
just pop
up
out of
from-
nowhere.
Can I throw something interesting? South Africa is actually where she blew up and started trending.
Yeah, that's
So, I'm just throwing that out there
Yeah.
just to say, guys, don't undermine
What we have here.
can do locally.
Yeah,
true,
you know?
yeah. No, it's
True.
amazing to watch, and I think it's created, opportunities for certain people who you would never. She's not your ideal celebrity
yeah.
in how we've defined what a celebrity looks like.
Yeah.
or what certain people have defined what a celebrity should look like. Because you
Especially
got
in the media,
gatekeepers,
yeah.
right? Like in these different things. And what I appreciate about social media and what this COVID situation has done, people decide who's going to get the shine.
The power
now.
is in the people.
Power is in the people.
Yeah.
People decide who blows up than a few people in a locked room somewhere. And that I mean, we don't want to get into the Grammys and all of that, and how that's how the debate.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But fundamentally, what I'm saying is, you can see how this has opened up the doors for people that you typically not define as a celebrity or a star, or and especially for women, I think it's a win. You know what I'm saying? Where African women, can
Just
look
young.
and say, I can do it. Like, with the right mentality and strategy, I can really, get my brand out there. So shout out to Elsa. You know what I mean?
Big shout out.
We would like to see a lot more of that. You know what I mean? So that was a quick W for Africa and for women. I think that's a dope one to kind of show light on.
I think it's a major dub, and the fact that we no longer have to face the barriers to entry that we had in the normal structures of Hollywood, the catwalk out there in Europe. Now, directly, the people can love you.
The ground is even.
If you have
even
something
now.
that you add value,
The ground is even. Let your talents speak. You know what I mean? I think the only minor issue on the pros and cons, on the con side of thing, is there's certain things where you're like, but no, this one, why are we giving a light on this one? You know what I mean? Like it's now subjective, where it's like, you're like, you guys like this? Like, you know what I mean? But overall, I think it's a good thing. I think everyone gets an opportunity to do what they can with
100%
technology
and abilities.
It's a good thing. On the music side, there's a lot of music that came out quickly. Personally, I'm feeling her album fire. Like, she's just
I haven't listened to it, but I think she's super talented.
Bro,
she
sings, she plays guitar, she plays piano. She plays drums. Bruh. Like, we need a lot more of that. You understand? In music. And I think, I like that's what I was saying. Like, I like the fact that the ground is even. But I think in some cases we do need gatekeepers, dog. I think they need it in some areas. Like,
who's annoying you?
Hey, bro. I'm not gonna say. 'Cause maybe once we had 100,000 followers, I can. But
So
not now.
subscribe.
Subscribe first. If you want to hear my opinion, subscribe to the show. Right? But I think it's a dope thing that she's doing her thing, and music like that is getting a fair shot, and people appreciate it. But I also think in some cases, true talent always pops out. If you're looking at longevity and
I mean, look at Adele. Like, you wouldn't even
understand?
But she must stop this thing of naming albums by her age. She needs to get creative with the album names, guys. I'm
She's
tired.
gonna be lazy now.
21, 19. Guys, no, guys.
But yeah, like, I think true talent always has a way. True talent always has a way of sticking out. So people should listen to that. Migos. I'm rocking with Culture 3. Culture 2, not so much. I didn't really feel it that much. But Culture 3, bro, I think it's gonna
anything
kill
with
the
Drake
summer.
on it is.
Hey, roll out the Drake. Hey, bro, y'all should check out that album.
I think Migos got this summer in the States.
I think
which
they're
is our winter. I
killing
think they
it,
have
bro.
it.
Yeah.
Man, and I mean, the US is open now, so you can imagine festivals, shows, like they're coining it, you know? Migos is fire. Tyler, the Creator, I'm not a big fan, but I know he's like super talented. I'll give you that.
He's very creative. Like,
in terms of just producing his own music, and he's true to himself, talent-wise. So, that came out last week, which is quite dope. I listened to it. Corrupt, for those that,
West, y'all.
I know that's your vibe, right? Corrupt put out an album,
Guys.
You can't talk about.
What's the name of the project? Because I looked for this thing, I
Corrupt.
couldn't.
No, it's there.
find
It's there on all streaming platforms, man.
Yeah.
The album is fire. I'll tell you that. Like, I listened to it. Like, I just gave it one listen, but I knew he was gonna bring it. Like, cause I've been a
No, but
follower.
I felt what we were
420
bumping.
Reloaded. That's the name of the
420.
album. Y'all go check it out.
Okay.
We'll put out just a little visual of it, but it's a dope ass album. Like, go check it out. Casper, let's bring it to local music, right? Quickly.
Yeah.
Casper, I'm a fan of some of his music, right? So I think he's working on a new project where it's gonna be like mostly I'm a piano music or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I know some people, have mixed feelings about it, but I personally think he's smart about that because he knows how to jump onto stuff when it's like.
But he
big.
also makes music that resonates.
He makes music that resonates to what people want to hear. Like, let's be honest.
And I
hip-hop
checked out
is
the
not,
video for his single. It was
local.
naturally
It's like-
him. He wasn't trying to tap
And
into
you know
something
what?
that-
That's something everybody can identify with.
Yeah.
The
Correct.
Batman, the maid getting down.
Fact.
I have a traumatic
I mean,
memory
did
from when
did
I
you
was
check the
45
dance?
years
I'm
old.
in there, dog.
Yeah. Did you check the dance? Huh?
You brought it back, man. No, it was like I rock with that.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a fan of hip hop, I'm a fan of R&B. Like I appreciate that. Like, dude is doing his thing. He's sticking to where he comes from. I mean, I think he shot it in mouth or whatever, but he's sticking to like who he is. I mean, hip hop has kind of helped him for international whatever recognition, but he still gives his people a little something. you know? So I like that, being diverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole thing of not trying to stick to one thing, like be diverse. Bro.
But I feel like as an artist, you have to, because that's evolution.
Yeah.
You know?
Fact. So I think locally people should check that out. He was a single Setandana or something like that. Setandana, which is fire. That's a video that came out. I rock with that. You know what I mean?
It's a huge
and then
banger, that one.
Yeah, and then people were talking about the Nasty C and Black.
Nasty C and
Blackie. Yeah. Woo. Times 4. What?
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
Interesting choice. We listened to it.
Interesting.
Right?
it did not move me.
It didn't move.
The bars were there, but the hook, I don't know.
Does anyone? Do y'all get a feeling that Nasty is slowly losing his?
Careful now, you're gonna.
I know.
I don't think he's losing it.
I think
but like
Nasty C
his
is the
first two
business,
albums
bruh,
were
and
fire, guys.
His first albums were fire.
Bad Hair and Strings and Bling.
Yeah.
But what do you think of his bars on that? Yeah. Man, that was. I don't know. I thought he wanted to
That was
bury
interesting.
Blackie. Like he was burying Blackie on his own track, bro.
But
I think it
I
was
don't.
interesting.
You know what? This
And
is
Black
my
is solid.
This is my
Don't get me
thing.
wrong.
I don't recall him ever letting me down in terms of bars and verses. He's
Right.
got that. But song concepts is where I'm
Right.
like, yeah. But maybe it's because I don't relate. Because remember, Nasty is also a young cat. You know what I'm
Maybe.
saying? Yeah,
Maybe,
that's where
maybe that's what it is. Well, I personally it didn't move me. I'm sorry. Like personally, it didn't move me.
Yeah.
I think he's talented in terms of, like you said, a lyricist, right? I'll give him that. Bars.
But he's a
as
great,
an art,
he's a
as
great
an
performer
artist,
as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it takes more to be an artist than let's differentiate. They're rappers and the artists. Sense that there's some people that are good with the pen,
Yeah.
but in terms of making a song,
Yeah.
like,
You know who
body-
you're reminding me of? Cannabis. Remember him?
Ooh.
Cannabis was a deadly lyricist,
Yeah.
but not concept-wise.
concept-wise,
He wasn't
yeah.
broad enough. So beyond the battle raps, he had nothing. And
Yeah.
Delivery was
obviously
just
couldn't
it's
sell
not
as an album.
Yeah, it's also like
Understand.
Jin on Rough.
Yeah.
Jin
was
also
exactly
was.
like that battle rapper, but nothing beyond that.
Like you've got some, and those type of artists have or creatives have very like what do they call them? These
Their
followers.
subject
Like
matters.
you got like followers that just follow
Underground.
you.
They have
Like
niche followers.
they have niche
yes.
followers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
like
yes.
people who really dig into your music and they vibe with. But it's not necessarily for everyone.
It's not
like
mainstream.
it's not mainstream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so I kind of get that vibe from Nasty, where it's like he's got his followers. You know, who mess with him. Like
God, sorry, I was in my head.
do you see where my hand is going? He's got his followers, right? And that's cool. But when I look at an artist, for me personally, it's somebody whose imagination is broad. You know,
Kanye West.
look at the Drake. You can throw whatever at him.
Yeah.
He's there. Like he's gonna shine in whatever venue you put him. You understand? If you put him in the UK, he's gonna speak like he's from the UK.
Yeah.
It's
I've
funny
got
to
a
you. And
question.
you know, when Drake does like an English accent or like a Jamaican accent, or
Yeah.
I'm like, dog. Like,
But he works it.
But you
he
forget
works
that
it.
he was an actor before. He's a thespian.
Oh yes, he was.
Fact.
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
fact. But that's what a true
Nobody ever
artist
thinks
is.
about that, eh?
But that's what a true artist is for me. Like you should be diverse. You should
No,
be able
100.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Here's my question to both of you, actually.
Yeah.
And you can jump in, Q. This is why I was laughing.
Yeah.
You know, you're speaking on, there's some people who are mainstream, there's some people who are not. And I'm with you. I fully agree in terms of Nasty as well. My question is, does he think in your opinion, that he's mainstream?
He thinks he's mainstream.
Yeah, he is.
That's why I was
But
asking.
he is mainstream.
He's mainstream to
No, he is mainstream. Like, guys, he's even got deals with
no.
with the-
Mainstream to who exactly?
to the people that
He's-
listen to his music. I listen to his music. I listen to
the
that.
fan base,
No. Mainstream. When you're a devout follower, like
No, I'm not a devout
Yeah,
follower,
yeah.
but I listen. Like his
Yeah.
first 2 albums were
yeah, you
fine
want to
for
say
me.
something?
Yeah, just want to say something real quick, man.
Yeah.
You keep throwing the word artist.
You're
Yeah.
rocking
Artist.
with the best.
Art is art, whichever way you look at it. So, for instance, if I'm mainstream, I'm not mainstream. Doesn't negate
away
the
from
fact
my-
that
Yes.
I'm an artist or I'm
No,
producing
that's
something.
true.
So for as long
That's
as I've
true.
got for as long as I got my market, for as long as I got my people, right, and I produce art for them, I'm still an
Right.
artist.
Yeah.
Now you look at guys. You talked of cannabis. You talked of gin.
Uh-huh.
You ask me right now. I didn't know this cat until recently, until sometime last year. King Loss.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you guys
I know
listen to King Loss.
King Loss. Yeah,
Guy,
yeah.
never heard bars like that guy.
He's dope.
Right.
He's
I mean,
dope.
you look at J.
Yeah.
Cole and everything is transient. You need to understand that. One day we're listening to trap.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right? T.I. is banging. Right? Next time we're listening to J. Cole, where we're in Kendrick, where these are we're going deep lyricists. And
Yeah.
Nasty more or less came up from, he's like a protege of that of that genre, right? And he's run with it, and for as long as that is still
Yeah.
mainstream, Nasty will always have an audience.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And he'll
Yeah.
always rock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, finish up where you go.
so for me, for as long as he's relevant in that context, like bring out LL Cool J right now. Like, yeah, I'd rock with LL Cool J, but put a 19-year-old in front of me
I
and
forget.
you say,
Right.
like, yo, I mean, what song did he do with J-Lo? He's got 2 or 3 songs with J-Lo, if I'm not mistaken. And for as long as it's the masses are there, and that is still
Then that
what's
is
happening,
mainstream.
then that is the mainstream.
Yeah.
And so Nasty, I still feel for as long as J. Cole is making something, for as long as Kendrick is making fire,
Yeah.
for as long as Drake, because
Yeah.
that is the group. But you're going to get Migos.
Yeah.
You're going to get a whole lot of guys who are just going to change the game. Like, totally change
the game.
And then all of a sudden, that's when Casper becomes relevant. Casper, you ask me, he's an artist, but you ask me, dude, that dude has got no bars. He's got...
It's a
I'm
vibe.
sorry, nothing against the guy. But
Yeah.
that guy knows how to get his audience.
It's a vibe.
How
Attention,
to hype
yeah.
a crowd,
Yeah.
how to get into mainstream.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
know what? He's going to stay in mainstream for as long as he's like a
Yeah.
kite
Yeah.
who evolves with what's happening. As long as he might like,
Yeah.
he's not going to be Superman. He's not
Back.
going to win a. He's not going to win what's that? A Grammy. Yeah. He's not going to win a Grammy. He'll win a
Summer.
local something because it's the hype around, right?
Yeah.
But for as long as he's going to lag behind, but you know he's going to still coin it. Right?
Yeah.
Now, a guy like Nasty, you ask me, he's not going to. The next version
Longevity.
of hip hop,
Yeah.
the longevity is going to it's going to die out at some point in time.
Correct.
Casper will try. Kanye is still sort of relevant since college dropout.
Yeah.
Kanye is
I
fine,
can listen
man.
to college dropout, and as much as I don't like new Kanye, but
Yeah.
new Kanye, these kids love new Kanye. Man. That's what I'm just trying to say.
So I think we should
Kanye is evolving. Kanye evolves. He's a-
evolving artists stick around. So I think we need to separate the two things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got mainstream artists, and then you've got artists that are seasonal.
You know, I think we should actually say this.
I need to
commercial.
Yeah, commercial.
Let's
We've
say
got artists
commercial.
that know how to be
Yeah.
how to stay relevant and be commercial, right? And like you said, like they're versatile, right? And those are the artists, if you think about it, that stick around for long.
Yeah.
And those are artists that are also in some way at the top. Oh,
That's
wait.
Drake for you. Listen,
That's a Drake.
You listen to October's
can't-
very own the mixtapes,
Yeah.
and you listen to what he is now. Two
Right.
different things, but you know what? He's still nice.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's what I think I'm really trying to break down, that there's a difference. Like Nasty's talented as a rapper, right? Who's like in the lane, like you said, Lil Wayne, whoever. But even in that lane, you have Lil Wayne. You're competing with Lil Wayne, you're competing with J. Cole, so you're not on top of the food chain there in that
But
specific
isn't
lane.
that a
But
kind of a
locally,
compliment
let's
to
look
put
at
him
it
in that
locally.
league?
Sorry?
Yo.
Doesn't that sort of elevate him? Because You know what I mean?
No.
Those guys are the progenitors of that game.
Yeah.
Imagine putting him in that.
Let me ask you. No, I'm saying like we're just talking about genres, like where he falls under. If you're looking on iTunes, where you're gonna find him in that lane. What I'm saying is, if you're looking at that type of rap, are you first looking for a Nasty C or are you looking for Lil Wayne?
Okay.
Hey, but guys, let's clarify which lane would we put him? Because I wouldn't put him in.
But like J. Cole.
But locally, guys.
Locally, he's done well.
Yeah,
Why?
locally he's done
Because
well.
that's a bigger. When you look at the market, right?
Yeah.
Of that type of hip hop,
Yeah.
it's global.
Yeah.
So either way, he's gonna be big because audience. He can't. Amapiano is not global. Let's be honest.
Fair
It's
enough,
big in
yeah.
SA,
Yeah.
right? So an Amapiano artist, their reach compared to a trap rap artist
Yeah.
is different. Nasty's gonna be big either way in that lane because he's dealing with a bigger audience. But what I'm saying is, for you, are you looking for Nasty C, right?
Or once you're in that
Once
lane.
you're in that lane,
Yeah.
or are you looking for J. Cole or whoever?
Whoever
Yeah.
typically makes that type
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for Amapiano right now, right?
You can look Lady Do or Casper.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because you're like, Casper's doing it there, right? And then you might bump into him in rap, right? And he's doing all right. So he's kind of broadened his audience. Like he's attracting everyone, right? And the numbers don't lie, right? So if we're looking at numbers, whose numbers are going to be greater? Casper's or Nasty C? Who's filling up the stadium?
Sorry, guy.
Yeah.
You got to look at demographics before you look at that.
Yeah.
You have a middle class that is exposed to J. Cole.
Right.
And you have, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say that that's society in South Africa.
Yeah.
You have
Mass. It's mass.
mass.
Yeah.
Casper is mass. Casper
Yeah.
will be huge in SA.
Right.
Yeah.
But take Nasty C. Nasty C goes to Japan. He's winning awards. He's doing tours, and he's doing the most
Right.
internationally. And I won't lie.
Yeah.
Didn't like Nasty C, but I won't lie. That kid's got bars.
No, you got bars.
Thank you.
Bars be given.
And then you know
Bars
it's
be given. But we're
No
talking
one,
about...
no one argues that.
No,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
argue.
No one's going to argue that.
Yeah.
I think Derek is talking about bars. He's talking
Yeah.
about now the business side and the artistry, how they marry. So whatever
Yeah.
it is you're propositioning yourself as versus what's your appeal going to be.
Okay, granted. Now, what I wanted to say was Casper will always be local
Right.
because Casper will always resonate locally. He looks at his audience. He wants to fill up the dome.
Right.
He wants to fill up the stadium.
FNB.
For you to fill up FNB, that's Soweto.
Yeah. That's huge.
Whom do you appeal to in Soweto? Now
Right.
he's got 60 million audience.
Right.
Nasty C is on an international stage. Real talk.
Yeah.
You're not going to put You're not going to put Casper with J. Cole. But I'll tell you this, right? I think I would love to see a battle where Nasty C wants to take on J. Cole. And you would see the bars on bars day. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You'll see like, okay, snap. How would you relate the two?
Yeah.
So for me, Nasty is the small middle class in South Africa going to upper class, and these young teens who are exposed to MTV channel or
Yeah.
whatever
Yes,
trace
yeah.
is out there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Beyond that, right? Nasty won't do Super Bowl in SA. I can tell you that.
Right.
But for as long as J. Cole is vibing, and there's
Yeah.
a different
No, no,
sound
no.
he can bring out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Nasty can always go international more than Cass would.
But let me ask you this, and that's a very good point you're raising, right? For Nasty, do you think Nasty is doing this thing just to be second to J. Cole, or is doing this thing to be the best?
In that regard, may I answer you there?
Yeah.
And it comes back to something that Aubrey was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Aubrey then speaks of spread. An artist who can sing about a love song and it's heartbreak. An artist who can then sing about what he could do to you on the street,
Right.
even though he doesn't want to do it.
Right, right,
An
right.
artist who speaks about his business enterprise.
Yeah.
That's the versatility you're speaking of.
Yes.
Now, there I must say I'm yet to hear it out of Nasty. I'm still hearing those bars that are it's double entendres on just on another, and because it sounds nice and it
Right.
rhymes.
Yeah.
That becomes a cannabis.
True.
Cannabis was the battle rap.
Yeah.
You know, I'll walk on the surface of the sun, I do this.
Yeah.
But beyond that, and that's what's gonna, because you're gonna need the girls to like what you have to say. So if you don't have the love song, you're gonna need the guys who love enterprise, who have dreams. You're gonna need us to say, man, you know the way Jay speaks, and you know, man, that's a business idea. I hear
Right,
that.
right.
You're gonna need life
You're gonna
experience
need-
items. But then at the same time, I would say being from South Africa, where you may be forced to face certain realities like the death of his parents, but you're not necessarily faced with, I think this is his father or something, but you're not faced with having to go on the streets and having gangsters for surrogates, as an American would have, and then would have more stories to tell. So does he have anything to say?
So let me tell you, and that's a very valid point. What confuses me with Nasty, right? And let's be clear, I'm not hating on Nasty. I think he's done great to kind of show a light on Africa, right? That we can play at that stage, right? But where do we also say, as an artist, you want to be authentic to who you are, apart from the bar, right? What's your story? Because I think that's important when you're an artist. People want to relate to your story.
I'm so with you.
Do we think, which is my question, do we think Nasty's doing a good job at telling his true story as an artist, or
is he authentic to his music?
Yeah, is he authentic? Yeah.
But look at his influences. Like he always says he's
It's not about influences. It's not a popularity contest.
No, it's not about popularity.
We know who his influences are.
So,
what's your story? Before you met Lil Wayne, before you met...
But he speaks about it in his music. He talks about how he grew up in Durban, how he sort of had aspirations to go to America and all these things. So he speaks about it in his music. If you listen to his music, you'll be able to see that like he has those things. But you have to look at his influences.
Yeah.
Like his influences, he always talks about how he listened to Eminem and 50 Cent.
Can I just throw in something? Look, this conversation, when it comes to music and artists, will always be a preference thing. But I fully feel like when I listen to some of the hooks and the actual track, I so resonate with what Derek is saying, in that I feel there's a lack of authenticity or just being his authentic self. That's how I feel. So you guys might feel otherwise, because if you remember I told you, listen to a song called Jack. I felt like this is actually, concept-wise, it's a good song, but I don't want to be hearing it from Nasty, because I don't feel him and the song connect like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like,
Listen, want to hear your opinions in the comments. Let us know what you think. The question is Nasty being authentic or not, as far as I'm concerned, right? And do we think that's a good strategy that he's going for?
Yeah.
And yeah, we could be wrong, you could be right, but let's get the conversation going, right?
And again, we're not hating. We celebrate the guy. We
celebrate what he's doing on that global platform. But yeah, everyone is gonna have a different opinion. We want to hear yours, right? So, guys, it's been great. Episode 4. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Vitamin Q Studios. If you have content you want to put out, if you have an idea, please reach out. We'd glad to hear from you. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on a number of streaming platforms. Patreon, if you want to contribute to the platform.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Great to have you guys on this journey, and check us out next week. Next episode coming out. Cheers, guys.